Combiflam has paracetamol plus ibuprofen.
Okay.
Now it's not safe because you can take Combiflam once in a while, like one in a week or one in 10 days, but you can't take Combiflam every day because Combiflam has ibuprofen also.
Okay.
So it can definitely affect and damage you and damage your kidneys.
Okay.
But plain paracetamol, 650 or 500 milligrams as per the age and the weight of the patient can be taken as a simple analgesic. But if you require it every day, then you need to show to a doctor. But do not take any medication without a consult, especially during pandemics.
Okay. And we have one more question from Mr. Rajkumar Jain from Mumbai, and he always used to join us on our show. He wants to know about Dolo 650.
Dolo 650 is paracetamol 650. So it is the
Okay.
same thing. That can be taken.
Okay. Great.
Well, this is good information. I would have not thought about some of these problems with the medications, and I should have. I mean, this is something good to know, especially if we're going to be doing some talks with pharmaceutical companies to understand these things. But we definitely don't want to be masking our symptoms during this time frame. So, absolutely. I'll tell you one thing I have found is just even though I've been trying to get exercise in every day, I tend to be fatigued, and I don't know that I'm stressed out over COVID. Maybe I am because I live out in the country anyway, so I'm kind of used. But I'm used. But no, actually, it's not true. I'm used to traveling 85% of the time. So this is kind of bizarre for me to be home, but I'm not allowing myself to be locked in. But I find myself fatigued. Is that a common problem?
See, the reason for fatigue is lack of sleep, first of all, and lack of sound sleep. Like you say, you are sleeping, but your body is not sleeping. So it's not the body; it's the mind that is not sleeping.
Okay.
So there's a need to have a sound sleep. Secondly, exercise is very important. Physical exercises is very, very important. If you don't use your muscles, you will tend to feel fatigue. Thirdly, diet is very important. So you should have a good protein diet and lot of water,
A lot of
liquid.
liquids. I think I've kind of been failing on that lately. I'm not drinking as much. Ankit and I used to compete, but we stopped. So maybe I need to start doing that because I noticed my cups are still full at the end of the show. I try to bring in a bunch of different kinds of hydration. I bring in lemon mixed with water, tea, just different, nothing soda. Ankit and I have a rule, no soda. Otherwise, we'd be doing belching contests. but I appreciate your tips. Are there some things you would like to share with the viewers while you're here?
Sorry, that was for me. I didn't hear.
Yes, I'm sorry, Dr. Gupta. I was just wondering if there's something that you would like to share with the viewers about what they can be doing during this time frame, just to let them know they're not alone.
Yeah.
Just be positive. We'll fight it out. We'll start living with COVID, and it's going to be like a normal influenza or a normal viruses. Everybody will get infected. We'll develop the herd immunity, and we'll start living with it. So it's going to be a part of our life. Nothing will stop. It's just a phase, and as doctors strongly advise not to take medications without any consult. And this is a beautiful channel running on, so you have everything on board. I can see a lot of entertainment as well as education, so it's a good mixture of everything. So keep logging in, and you'll get the best.
Thank you. And I want people to know that if you're feeling and having problems and can't figure it out or need some help, contact us at Go Live at IBM.TV. Ankit and I are really, really good at helping people find solutions. We've even helped doctors find PPE equipment. They weren't able to get PPE equipment, so we've kind of connected some dots for them. But you don't have to be a doctor to call us for help. If you're a person out there with chronic pain, reach out to us and we'll connect you with Dr. Gupta, and you can ask him direct questions. So, thank you so much. So,
and I think to reach if our viewers would like to reach out to Dr. Gupta, so they have a website called orlinclinic.com,
There you
and they
go.
can reach out to Dr. Rajat Gupta at orlinclinic.com. And I think Dr. Gupta is ready to serve people around the world. So let's stay blessed and hope everything will be fine as soon as we can.
That's
Thank you,
right.
Dr. Rajat, for
Thank
joining us
Thank you.
today.
you. That's
Thank you.
right.
Take care. And also,
Take
before
care.
you go, we have seen a different look of yours from what we had in the past. What is the change makeover?
Yeah, what is the change?
So I've not cut my hair and I've colored my hair.
Okay.
You did your own.
So trying to look different. So
Okay.
we need to be motivated.
I
Yeah.
love it. You're looking great. A-Kid's been doing his own hair, and I like it. I like it. Self barbers. I love it. Colored your hair. I haven't done anything to mine. I've just let mine keep growing because I'm not going to go see the beautician, and I'm not coloring it, so it's not blonde anymore. So I get it. I get it. It's different, but
Thank
you know,
you.
it looks good. You look great. I love
Okay,
it.
Ankit, I'll take care.
Patient's age is 85. I know case. What is hemiplegia?
So this question is for Dr. Rajat. I mean, before you
Oh,
go,
Dr.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Another doctor. Okay.
So L4, L5 is fractured and having pain in the leg continuously. Can't take much painkillers. Kindly advise pain medication. Now, the thing is that this patient needs to be seen in person. I can
okay,
definitely help the person. I can definitely help the patient because the heart is working 30%. I cannot just prescribe medication over phone.
Right.
So definitely would like to examine the patient and see all the reports. But definitely I can help with pain. I have painkillers which are safe in such patients also.
so I think we can request Mr. Rajkumar Jain to get in touch with Dr. Rajat, and
Yeah,
then
yeah, sure.
Absolutely. We'll connect the dots. This is
yeah,
what I love about this show is we're about the solutions, right? We're not, you can complain, but we're about finding the solutions and talking through it. And we want to help find the solutions for people who are out there suffering and maybe can't get to your doctor. You know, again, we're not like 100% everything. We always say consult your doctor, but we've got great doctors here and everything. So, and Dr. Sue, hello.
Hello,
Oh,
namaste.
you look different today. You look different. You got a different hat on. I love it.
Yeah, yeah. So
Ankit, I'll take your
this
leave.
is just
thank
Okay,
you. Thank
thank
yeah.
you.
you, Dr.
It was
Gupta.
nice to hear you, Dr. Rajat. So the
Thank you, sir.
valid point I was listening when I was on backstage. So I think for the pain management, it is nowadays it is a very good field if you can take care of the patient's pain. Thank you so much, Dr. Rajat.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you. And thank you for sharing with us some of these great ideas because,
Yeah,
when
yeah,
you're sitting at home in pain, it's hard to motivate. So I appreciate your time. Thank you.
yeah.
Okay,
Hi, Dr. Rahul,
Dr. Raul and Dr. Sagu. I feel so blessed,
Hi.
Rakesh,
surrounded by
Rakeshji,
doctors.
Rakeshji, Ankit, and Ken. Yeah. How are you?
Yes.
How are
Anyway,
you doing?
doing great. It's Friday, right? I don't know one day from the other anymore. But how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing good. I went through a small procedure a few days back. That's why I was absent. I was not able to come on online.
So you're healthy now?
Yeah,
Oh, good. So
Great.
did you shave your beard or something? Cut your beard or
no, no. I never shaved my beard
you never shave your
in
beard?
my. I never shaved my beard in my life.
Okay, but did you
I
trim? You look different today. You just look different.
because of the turban. Because
Okay,
today I'm
okay.
wearing the cap.
You're
It's a
wearing
surgical cap which we use. Yeah, yeah,
okay, yeah, no. So I like the surgical cap. It's pretty cool.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So you doing surgery today?
Yeah, I did yesterday also and day before yesterday also, and I tried not to wear the turban nowadays while going to my OTs and all, so that because we have to wash everything whenever we came from the OT and from the hospital, so that is why the cap can easily be managed. So that is the only reason that I put my cap. After so many years, this cap is from American College of Surgeons, Chicago, when I was doing fellowship over there.
No. So, tell us some of the things that you're seeing recently. It looks like maybe COVID is not slowing down, but we hear that there's 2 more weeks of shutdown. But what are some of the things in your life that are turning around now?
I think
Okay.
Ready?
So we can switch back to Dr. Raoul because he was kind of here first anyway. So Dr. Raoul, share with us what's going on.
See, with respect to COVID, the doubling time in India has increased to 12.5 days now. Okay, we are on a way of partial lockdown resolution procedures. I don't know how successful we would be, but the government has taken a stand to bring down the lockdown now in the city all across in a graded fashion. See, this is important because the economy cannot be left to be stagnancy. We all need to start living with the virus with the adequate safety precautions, with a proper positive attitude, and we have moved some proposals to the ICMR on our own personal capacity. They are under consideration by the ICMR.
No, I agree. I think this is something that we've been talking about for a while now, that we just have to learn to start living with it. But I think we had to get it under control and figure it out because we didn't want such a high death rate like we have in the U.S. right now, which is still concerning to me that we are still experiencing such an incline that we haven't even come. They keep saying, "Oh, we're plateauing." We're still doing this. I don't see how the numbers are going up that we've plateaued any at all. But you know, it's keeping the mindset, the people from going crazy. I think Dr. Segura brought this up too. A few weeks ago that we just have to mentally stay well now, not just physically. But and those are the good conversations we need to be having. Is those things. I mean, we've talked about our good standards of washing our hands. How do you wash
Yeah,
your hands? Um,
yeah,
the difference between wearing a mask and not wearing a mask. Why is it
yeah,
important?
Yes.
There
yeah,
was such a big controversy, but I think people didn't understand that it wasn't about protecting you. It was more about protecting other people from what you might have. But um, and I'll address Dr. Scoob with this question, and then you. But do you foresee us re-entering with masks, but maybe in the future that mask won't be as necessary?
Uh,
yeah,
don't think so much. If the ventilation is maintained well, the aeration of the rooms are well, I don't think so. Wearing a mask will or not wearing a mask will make a much of a difference because the viral particles are not known to aggregate in a breezy atmosphere. They are just known to disseminate in the atmosphere, and that is what is important. There is a loading dose of virus, which is important to infect a person. If the room is well ventilated, right? They've shown on thermal cameras the loading dose is not reached as compared to a closed room, which is an air conditioned room. There, your masks will play a role because of no breezy air, the viral particles will remain in air and they can travel a distance of more than 4 meters in a closed controlled environment. So there, I would suggest we will need a mask because we have definite evidence by infrared cameras. And in a breezy atmosphere, I don't think so. We will require a mask. We can just enjoy fresh air, which is being formed
I
because of
do that now.
lack of pollution.
I go out in my backyard, but there's nobody around me for 2 or 3 acres. So the only thing I have are deer, foxes, raccoons. So I don't, unless they're contagious and have something. The worst thing that we feared out here were ticks and
Hmm.
snakes. But Dr. Sagu, what are your thoughts on that? I guess it's important for reentry maybe to do masks, but um, what are your thoughts on that?
yeah. I would definitely agree with Dr. Rahul, which he has made the comment. about the lifting up of the lockdown and changing the lifestyle. And we need to change the lifestyle forever, I think, now, from now. And if you are sitting in a room, in a house, and your room is very well ventilated and there is no AC is not on, it's not a closed room, I don't think you need to wear the mask. But yes, whenever you go out, you should wear a mask now. So the mask would definitely would be compulsory now while going out, to protect yourself and you protect the others also.
I agree. And
Yeah.
we're talking about just learning to live with it, but that's improving our health. And I'm thinking maybe we can develop together as a team an app that we can allow people to have to help develop better eating habits,
Mhm.
reduce obesity, and increase immunity, right? And I think that this would be
Yes.
very, very important.
Yes, yes, yes. I mean, the lifestyle change has to be everywhere, whether it is a eating habit, whether it is a physical activity habit, whether it is a sleeping habit, whether it is a mental habit, whether it is, I mean, meeting habits also, consulting habits also. So each and everything, the I mean, concept for everything, protocol for everything is going to change now. And I think we should live with the virus and we should live with the new lifestyle changes, right? It is very important. So because obesity is going to be a very very dangerous now. It's a risky factor. If we talk about the diabetes, hypertension, other chronic disorders, if we talk about the even COVID also, because the obesity is going to compromise your lungs. Would Dr. Rahul would agree with me? So because of
Yes.
compromisation of the lungs, your lower lobe of the lungs, they are compromised
Mhm.
because of the obesity. Because you are not able to breathe out and breathe
Mhm.
in properly. You are doing some shallow breathing. You are not
Mhm.
doing the deep breathing. So when the deep breathing is not there, the bottom of your lungs, they are not opening up well. So when the bottom of the lungs, they are not going to opening up well, so they are going to invite lot of things, not only the disease related to the lungs, disease related to everything. So many things are going to be there when the obesity is there. And obesity is always a man-made. The obesity, we are the only culprit for that. It is a man-made.
You're
It
right.
is it. Yeah, yeah,
Thank you. And you know what I get frustrated about is they'll put people who are highly obese on disability checks here, right? Where they can get disability checks. And I go, but they brought this on themselves. It was hard for me to, in fact, I never got disability, and that might have been a blessing because I work and my mind stays preoccupied. Like we talked, that's a good thing. But obesity is man made. That is a man
yeah,
made disease. And
yeah, yeah.
we
So
need to fix
uh,
that.
we we are fighting with the pandemic, the COVID pandemic, but we already have a obesity pandemic. So, do we need to fight with this obesity pandemic, which is man-made?
Mhm.
And we're dealing with, like you said, the obesity and the lungs. We've got two great experts here to talk about these two things. But when you are healthier and you're breathing healthier and you're filling your body in full capacity of all the oxygen it needs, all the hydration it needs, you don't need all that junk food. You don't
Yeah,
you don't feed it all of that comfort junk food when you're exercising right, your lungs are feeling good, your heart's feeling good. You don't need the bad food. And I don't think people see that. They don't recognize that.
Mhm.
yeah. I think with the economic background now, because the economy is going down, so the choices from the unhealthy food will directly come to the healthy foods.
Do
The
you think
choices from the
But,
restaurant-made food will go to the homemade food.
but
The
Dr.
choices for lot of cars and everything will go to now the walking. We can go to the bicycle also. So I mean, this pandemic is going to change, and you never know. Maybe good for the pandemic which we are already fighting, that is obesity.
well, I
But
think
Dr. Guru, do you think that those people who are doing those fast food chains and they are creating those foods for us, both on television as well as on the real restaurant, they will come up with an idea and to sell those food at a cheaper price because it's difficult to get healthy food at a good price,
it
but
is.
you'll get those food at a very very low cost. And I think Mansi would agree to me because she manages the mental side of the uh, things. So how people will decide because they watch those McDonald's ads on regularly on television and they don't see doctors on television, but those McDonald's and those pizzas are always on television whenever you go on it. It's difficult to unlearn things and then buy those healthy foods. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's very true. It's like, they'll start offering salad free with fries, and that doesn't help us at all. You know what I mean? I mean, in the larger aspect of public health, that is just unhealthy eating. And they are businesses. At the end of the day, they are going to obviously come up with ideas to try and sell, what they stand for. So that's always going to be there. But I think Dr. Here is right. Dr. Saku here is right when he says that people are going to have to bring healthy choices of lifestyle and food because it is it's part of all that immunity growth of the system, which is being promoted on so many platforms at the moment. Um, so I'm personally a pharmacist and a mental health advocate. So in while dealing on a mental health platform as well, we have so many discussions where we talk about how the immunity goes down when people are in a lot of stress, which is currently the case anyway because of so many people losing jobs. There is so much uncertainty over so many things in life. So I think food is going to play a major role in each and every area. And with respect to immunity, especially, I mean, there are so many Ayurvedic formulations coming up as well who claim, to make up for the immune system. So I think food will be a major, there will be a major change in the type of food moving forward now after the, seeing the pandemic effect. People will understand that in a better way that we need to take care of our, lifestyle and food.
Yeah, I agree. I think the way we start eating, I think breathing in more, filling our lungs at more full
Yeah.
capacity, we fulfill our bodies and minds. I think we need less junk food, but junk food's so cheap. Parents can
Yeah,
beat
and
their kids with a bag of chips
yeah,
a lot
But I,
cheaper.
I have a question from all the doctors because whenever you visit a hospital, you'll find junk foods available at hospital as well. Sorry to say,
Yeah.
but why we don't have a why we don't counter that? Because I mean I know that there are healthy foods as well, but there are a lot of food which is not good for health, but that is not available around hospitals as well. So Dr. Rahul,
so
do you want to say something?
yeah,
See, Ankit, one has to make a strong balance between the kind of food the people would like to eat and a healthy food stuff, right? You just cannot pump in a food which is healthy into somebody who's not willing to take or eat it, right? So, based on people's choice, after all, it's the end of the day, the cafeteria is a business. They have to earn
Yeah,
profits to make the things running. So, they will keep the food which the public will want to eat rather than which is healthier for them to eat, right? So the way we educate the people in our health sessions, like health checkups, will play a vital role in helping the people to make a good choice of food. Ankit, now coming taking you slightly off the track. If I tell you we don't have to live with COVID for a long time, what would you say?
I will just
We
follow
do,
your guidance.
Yeah. The reason why I'm trying to tell you this is by scanning the research papers recently, we have come across something very good from the country of United States of America.
Yeah,
Very strong research has come up to show us that UVC lights of 222 nanometers, far wave UVC lights, have known to destroy the virus but have not known to cause cancerous lesions on the skin. There are ample of white papers published on this right now. And deploying UVC in a controlled and a graded fashion, that is what we are looking in our setups right now, feasibility of deploying UVC lights and disrupting the chain of virus transmission. And I'm already talking to a lot of people in United States, my friends. They have deployed it, they have found it useful. In India, in our center, we are trying to deploy it and destroy the chain of transmission of this virus. Once we have that achieved, I don't think so we'll have to live with COVID for a long time. Gone are the days of old time sodium hypochlorite solution, formaldehyde to be used as disinfectants. Now, The, this virus pandemic has changed the way we think.
Yeah.
It has changed a lot of things in our practice. And we are forced to adapt. See, earlier UVC lights were recommended by WHO for TB sterilization, and what WHO websites mentioned. But we were so resistant to adopt them because there are so many other choices available with us. Now this virus has put virtually eliminated the rest of the choices for us, except this choice which remains. So
So you
there's
will see
already
UV
a
lights. You will see UV lights containing all those contamination area, or I mean, how you will be using it?
see,
Yeah,
see
I'm curious about that.
yes,
That's interesting to
Yeah.
me because
yes.
I know about the
See,
germicidal lasers
See,
because I.
what I have proposed in our setup is identify the zones of high contamination first by taking swabs. Where the zones of high contamination are there, the UV lights will be placed close to the floor because it has been shown this virus does not remain suspended in air for a long time. It settles on the floor, settles on the surface. So
Okay.
those surfaces will be taken care of first. Second thing, we are trying to get in touch with the US producers, the makers of this UV light, and get in touch with them for solutions to a CT scan department or radiology department, waiting areas where these lamps can just be put on, 24 by 7 hours a day, and sufficient disinfection can be achieved. Mind you, the UV lamps which are available on the internet website, though they mention 222 wavelength, right? It's not 222 nm, it's 222 volts. And when you see the specifications, it's either 286, 350 nanometers, which is harmful to the skin, because we are doing a lot of search in this area because we quickly want to come out with a remedy before it strikes to rain. The first rain hits the city of Mumbai.
No, that's interesting. I love this research and technology with the
Yeah,
ultraviolet. Doctor,
yeah. Dr. Rahul, I have a question. So,
Yes, sir.
don't you think living with the COVID would be better than living with the lot of side effect of the UV light? Because
Sir,
this
yes.
this this is the new addition of the family. The COVID-19 is a new addition to the family. You have seen the SARS has come, the influenza has come, HIV has come, HBS antigen has come. A lot of viruses has come,
Hmm.
and they have become the member of the family. So right now, pandemic is because we don't have anything against or anything to fight with this COVID-19. Once we get the vaccines, once we get the drugs, when we get the hard immunity against this virus, and this would be a normal virus like an influenza virus. So why to use the UV lights for this COVID-19? Because UV lights itself, it has a lot of side effects. It can lead to a lot of skin conditions also. It can lead to burning of the eyes, burning of the cornea. There is a lot of corneal diseases there. So if we can do the simple preventive measures like hand washing, because soap and water is the best method now. I mean, you don't need a sanitizer also. So if we are doing the social distancing, if we are disinfecting the walls by the sodium hypochlorite, so would you think that UV light would be better, and it will not harm our life, and it will not cause some other diseases which we are not aware of right now?
Good question, Dr. Sagu. Let me answer this question. Sodium hypochlorite and all our man-made measures will suffice only till the does not start falling. Once the
Yeah, yeah,
monsoon sets in, there will be a mayhem,
yeah,
right? And it's very difficult to maintain cleanliness. Number one.
yeah.
Number two, categorically since 2017, it has been shown by the UV light research that the wavelength of 222 nanometers and less nanometers, right, have no penetration virtually to human skin. Okay, sir. Now, what is the problem is we have never used 22 nanometers for the extensive general purpose. What we have used is 258 nanometers, 350 nanometers for
Yeah,
germicidal purposes, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
So those are having a good penetration stratum corneum, and they can cause what you have said, sir. But 222 nanometers have been tried extensively by people in a controlled environment, and they have found that it does not penetrate the human skin and does not cause any carcinogenic effects. There's no keratitis on the cornea. So
yeah,
my question to myself is, would I change the way I think, break down the
yeah,
traditional locks, and adapt to something which is beneficial for my people? See, because all said and done, it is very difficult to maintain a clean environment in our country, sir.
yeah,
Whatever
yeah. I
hypochlorite you use, whatever disinfectant you use, sir, and
Yeah.
putting a UV lamp is just very simple. Just a button switched on, it functions like a normal
Okay.
bulb. right,
yeah,
sir? And the
yeah,
amount of radiation released, you see, what is important is from the source where you buy your UV lamps from. If you buy from
yeah,
Alibaba or other sites, they put there
yeah,
222 nanometers. But in down,
yeah,
if you read the specification, it's not 222 nanometers, it's 250, 280, 350, 360 nanometers, right? So
yeah,
exactly the sellers are playing away with our psychology to give us a higher dose of
yeah.
radiation.
Right.
Yeah, yeah, that may be true. So my concern is, I mean, I don't think we need to have a cleanliness and everything, all the measures which we are
Yes,
following
sir.
right now for the long period. Maybe like influenza is now. We are not following any measures against influenza. So even the influenza is coming and going. So maybe the COVID-19 will be also coming and going. Even during this pandemic also, around
Mm-hmm.
80% patients they were asymptomatic or mild. Even lot of asymptomatic patients they are getting this COVID-19 and they're fighting well because their defense system, their immunity is very good. So it is
Mm-hmm.
coming and going. I don't think it would be of great worry until unless you don't have a major uncontrolled disease, you don't have a respiratory compromise, you don't have a cardiopulmonary compromise. So that was my concern. I think you're the best concern and expert for that. So thank you so
So
much.
may I try to allay your question a bit
Yeah,
further?
yeah,
The reproductive index R factor for this COVID virus is 2. In 10 cycles, it can infect 2,000 people. That is the
yeah, yeah,
contagiousity of this disease. As against
yeah, yeah,
influenza virus, it can only infect
yeah,
20 or 30 people in 10
Very people.
reproduction
Yeah.
cycles.
yeah,
And
yeah,
another thing is this virus has mutated 30 times now. There are
yeah,
more than 341 species as on record online of this virus itself. This virus is known to transmit to the animals. Also, now
yeah,
tiger was one published. Dogs are another whole reservoirs for this. So, sir, in the virus which is strongly mutant, number one,
yeah, yeah,
where your
yeah,
therapies are known to fail very quickly. See, we have
yeah,
always been hearing that the therapy has come for this virus, then we find out the therapy has failed in this virus. There's
yeah,
always a
yeah,
series of coming of drugs and going of drugs. If you carefully look at the research protocols, also, we have lost drugs very quickly. For such a disease, we are losing our arsenal quickly, sir. I would rather be on an
yeah,
aggression rather
yeah,
than wait for the herd immunity to come. See, herd immunity in UK is also now not more than 4%, which would hardly
yeah,
benefit a population.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Save it, sir.
Because
So
yeah,
I
I'm
yeah,
think
I'm
I
because
think the
yeah,
I
yeah,
think there
yeah.
is more concern for the immunocompromised patients.
Yes, yes,
They are
so
a major concern in all of this. I mean,
yeah,
respectfully agreeing with Dr. Rahul there that any sort of cure or any sort of therapy, while agreeing with you, Dr. Sagu, that thinking about the side effects of them at the same time. But if we have to put some, go down the aggressive road, then that is the major benefit for immunocompromised patients, I think, across the world. And I think that is a major healthcare concern right now.
but
ma'am,
that
to
UV
add to
lamp
it,
is yeah only for the hospitals. I think Dr. Rahul is talking about
yes, yes,
that we are
yes. I'm
putting in the
talking
code
about,
of the hospitals only, not
yeah,
yeah, not at every places. So for the hospitals,
for
maybe I have not tried that. It would be good. So my concern is only that because the enemy is very stranger to us now. That is
mm,
unseen, we cannot see, it's invisible, and
Yeah.
we don't know the strategy of the enemy. So after
mm,
understanding the strategy of the enemy, we can make a strategy, and once the time will pass, I think we would have a good strategy. I will give you a very good example. If you are fond of cricket, there was one bowler from Sri Lanka, that is Ajanta Mendes. So he used to rotate the ball, and initially the top batsman of world, I'm talking about the world, they were having a lot of difficulties to playing that bowler. Even the Tendulkar was not able to play two balls of by Ajanta Mendes, and once
mm,
initially he took around 5 wickets in 1 over. What happened to Ajanta Mendes? After 2-3 matches, every ball was going for the six and boundaries. So initially you don't know the strategy of your enemy, but
Yeah.
once you become very understandable to the strategy of the enemy, you can play well.
agreed to you, sir. We can play well once you understand the strategy of this enemy. But looking
Yeah,
at this virus, there's so many controversial issues which I would not like to bring up on this chat show. It would be better if we talk on a personal level. This virus
yeah,
has
yeah,
eaten up our medicines like crazy stuff. Number one. Number two, the prediction of presentability is changing now every single moment. Earlier, we
Yeah.
never
Yeah.
had a presentation of Guillain-Barré syndrome with this virus. Now we are having
Yeah.
people coming in with acute flaccid paralysis, acute renal
Yeah.
failure, is asymptomatic for a long time, sir. So, having put all the things together, what we propose is the hospitals are becoming a secondary source of contamination to the society,
Yeah.
because all the viruses, people are coming to the hospital and they are shedding the
Yeah.
viruses there, and the healthcare workers are taking it back home. So, our proposal is to control the secondary source, hospital for becoming a secondary source, and the environment will take care of itself. Like I said, a well ventilated air does not let the loading dose to accumulate,
Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
sir? So we
Yeah.
need to
Agree.
adopt a
Hmm.
strategy in between the two, that not over dependence on UVC, because to get a pure UVC you need a monochromatic UVC lamp source. If you
Yeah. Yeah.
don't
I
have a
agree.
monochromatic lamp source, you'll have UV and UVB which are toxic.
Yeah.
So like that, there's a lot of thinking to be going in to purchase this also, from an appropriate source and a very standardized source. Because there's so many people, you hear tomorrow, yeah, the other day I heard ophthalmologist had made a battery, torch which would emit UVC, and who would be
Yeah.
putting in patient's throat. A video
Yeah.
has come out from Gujarat, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So who has tested the quality of that? See, because I believe to make a lamp, you need a glass furnace, you need an
Yeah.
electrode diode, you need a
Yeah.
pottery. Yeah, these things are
Yeah.
not easily available in everybody's home.
Yeah. Yeah.
Probably our friend has borrowed the lamp from somewhere, jigsawed it into a
Yeah.
torch, and then how can you guarantee that it will only emit 222 nanometers? And we are not fooled by the way 222 nanometers of the advertisement, when it's 222 nanometers and it's doing
Agree.
286
Agree,
nanometers.
Dr. Rahul. Fully agree with you. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
also,
Yeah.
Dr. Rahul and Dr. Sabu, I'll tell you, there's an advertisement going on the television right now, and they say that if you buy a spray to wash your vegetables and fruits, you are, sanitize your virus free. And I was amazed to see such an ad. I mean, I don't understand. They are using additional chemical on top of the vegetable. It's,
Makes it toxic.
it's free from coronavirus. So, do you,
Y- y-
because, yeah, yes, Dr. Sabu.
the good articles, they doesn't need any type of advertisement.
Yeah. I completely agree. I mean, but
Yeah.
how can we allow these ads running? Because during this situation, I mean, everyone is following and they want to buy all the things, whatever is possible.
when
But
when
why?
when you allow your liquor salesman to sell the liquor instead of giving the food, then it is, I mean, you can allow all the big companies to advertise their bad shit.
Mm.
I think
Ankit, you can show the dollar again for the answer to your question. The dollar should come up.
I'm
Ankit, to
looking
tell
at
you,
dollar note. I've got it somewhere.
Ankit, to
So
tell you,
you know
we are not
I
using
mean,
it for the first time, UVC in India. We have been using UVC at water purifying plants and other places. UVC at the
yeah, yeah,
community level has been successfully tried in Singapore.
yeah,
In China, also UVC robots have been tried.
yeah.
Learning from them, we did a
Yeah.
small experiment in my friend's hospital
China,
at US.
yeah,
US.
Dr.
We did a
Rahul,
small
Chinese UV light doesn't have any nanometer, and
Sir,
you cannot
but
prove that also. They,
no, let me come to you. We have always we will sir, we don't take them at the face value. We
yes, yes,
learn,
yes,
adapt to a true thing. But
yeah,
nevertheless, they have come out with
yeah,
the greatest number of such papers, right? And
yeah,
if we analyze it carefully, sir, it is very stupid on my part to wash them off as manipulated or not standardized,
yeah, sure,
because they have come up with very good treatments, sir. And the way
yeah,
the Singapore has controlled the COVID virus infection is a learning
yeah,
point for all of us,
Yeah.
with
yes,
the
yes.
vast diversity
I,
we have.
I fully agree. I fully agree. The way the Singapore, the New Zealand, they have controlled this virus, I
But
think
sir,
we should learn a lesson from them.
there is a news from South Korea about some disinfections and some different disease coming up. Do you have any idea about that?
Some instances of Zika virus were reported, but
I have not
not so
heard
many.
from South Africa. I just try to pull it up in the meantime.
Okay.
Yeah,
There's
even
they're isolating it down. I truly believe that if we could just narrow this down, do some testing, get some early detection, right? So if we can get early detection, I know all the tests are not 100%, but nothing's 100%, but it's better than doing nothing. But I think if we can get early detection, early treatments, we can reduce the infectious rates, the spreads. What do you think?
Kim, with regards to that, my proposal is already pending with the ICMR. It's moved day before yesterday night by a member of parliament to the health secretary and other people,
Congratulations.
where we have compiled a lot of study reports across the place for salivary specimen, and they are studying it. If they find it feasible, soon in India we will have nasopharyngeal swabs being replaced by salivary sample RT-PCR. And the beauty is that we don't need a different kits for salivary sample RT-PCR. The same nasopharyngeal kits can be validated for salivary sample also. So this is under process in our country right now. So if they find it valuable, they go ahead and implement it.
Well, congratulations. And I know that takes a lot of research to prepare a proposal in the medical industry. So thank you very much for your efforts. Like I said, we're all about the solutions here. We want to hear them and share them with the rest of the world, so that we can get this under control, because this isn't impacting just one country. Are you leaving?
Yeah. So I
Oh,
have to leave now, please. I'll take your leave, Kim. Thank you so much.
I'm
Dr.
glad
Rahul,
you're doing
Mansi.
better.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm glad
Bye-bye. See
you're
you.
doing better. Bye,
Bye,
Dr.
sir.
We lost meeting. We lost. Okay. Anyway, you were
Bye.
talking about well, earlier we were talking about music healing us, right? So here we've got our beautiful musician artist
Oh,
and
thank you.
Alexandra with her musical cafe on Sunday. So she interviews some of the world's leading people in the music industry, shares great music, happiness. Yay!
Yeah.
Makes us all feel like we're together, that
Yes, it
we're
does.
not alone. Does it feel
Yeah.
good when you're doing this? I know it does, but share with the world. You feel better, don't you?
Yeah, I say it every time. The Sunday is like the highlight of my week because it is getting together with like-minded people who enjoy the same thing as me. But also, it's because even though I do it as a job, it's still an art that I admire and I treasure and I see as a gift. So I love seeing people doing what they do best. So this week, oh, I'm so excited. We've got a bit of a music/cinematography kind of theme. So we have a composer/conductor. His name is Simon Holt. He lives in Australia. I think he lives in Sydney, which is quite cool. And he's actually toured with many like musicals around the world. We also have a beautiful lady called Anna. She is Russian and she does bits and pieces as well. She has been an assistant director, also does her own filming, cinematography vibes. So just really interesting to see what she does from that perspective. Then we have a really cool guy called Richard Gower. He's from South Africa and he is an actor/singer, songwriter, musical theater, TV, and has his own vlogs and he does these sort of things every week and all, and he's also really talented. And then last but not least, we have a really cool guy who I actually met on IBM called Wesley Elder, and he is a producer/actor/director, everything as well, and he is in America. So I'm interested to find out when it comes to music in film, how it works, how they pick music to fit a certain mood. And then I know a lot of these guys like Wesley started in theater and Richard does theater and music. So music and writing songs is all part of their DNA. So there will be a little bit of a writer's round, which will be great. And then lots of chatting about some fun things to do in this world and what else to look forward to and what else to look forward to during lockdown if you're in lockdown or in quarantine or whatever. So there's stuff to keep you busy.
I want to tell somebody, or not somebody, everybody, if you think about it, singing is great lung exercise, right? You're filling your lungs, you're holding the note and playing the note. So what great exercise. I mean, I'm a swimmer by nature, but yes. And
And we have Dr. Rahul with us, and he is a lung specialist as well as
that's why I had to say that.
Yes.
I had to say
Yeah.
that.
And last week he shared a beautiful song with us, and I think he has one more song, for us and our viewers. Dr. Rahul, are you ready? We have Alexandra, she'll join you once you start.
Okay. So, would you like to hear the song or the poetry?
Both the things.
Both.
Both.
Both the things. Okay, so let me tell you a poetry first. A virus with a crown has forced this world to pace down, creating great fear, filling the eyes with tears, with its frown causing the nations to drown. Religion has lost its importance as a virus kills humans like an ace. Mutating fast, it changes its face, making it difficult to identify a case. The governments take a stand and everyone join their hands to do their bit so that the transmission of virus is hit. The medical fraternity takes the front line, risking and sacrificing their lives to save a life. And the researchers stand along in sleepless nights, trying to find a way to win this fight. The bond of love goes strong, and hands join to save lives in the storm. With a strong zeal to persist, we'll win this fight to exist.
Wow.
That
It's
is
amazing.
amazing. Thank you. We need these things to inspire us.
I think the best part is that
Yes.
Dr. Rahul have used a lot of health-related words in the poem, and that is a good part because people generally don't use those words. But that was a good poem, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes.
A lung specialist and an artist. Wow. It's such a blessing, but I just
But
think it's good.
you're so right in saying that. I don't really know a lot about biology and how it all works. I'm sure our doctor will be able to correct me. But when it comes to the arts, you're 100% correct when you say it is great exercise. It's about keeping fit because you're not just using your throat to sing. You're using your entire body. You're using your toes to sing, and it's about posture. It's making sure that your diaphragm works. And I even said last week that I used to sing opera in like full-on ball gowns and corsets. So you'd have to sing against.
And change the routers.
We got bouncy here. Bouncy. Okay, but go ahead. But
Oh no.
Can you hear
Yeah.
me?
corsets on and
Yeah, so you'd have to sing against that. So it's all about posture and how you breathe, how you stand. So it is actually great exercise. And even just doing poetry, and I remember doing drama and doing these monologues on stage. You'd have to stand there and breathe deep enough to be able to project. So and without hurting your throat, it's about using your diaphragm. So and even my sister who does ventriloquism, she throws her voice. So it's a whole nother technique. But it's if you're looking for some fun exercise, sing a song.
but it does. It really exercises
Back.
the capacity of the lungs. I was able to take some music when I was in high school, and that's one of the things it told me was you had to practice breathing
Yeah.
before we could sing. We made us
Yes.
practice all of these breathing techniques. When I first started, I felt like I was going to pass out. Even though I was a good swimmer, I felt like I was, that was some exercise. And I'm like, wow, this is pretty amazing. But to have a lung specialist here, share with us his poetry, his music, and everything. And he's been so inspirational on some of the things that we're heading into in our society about living with the virus.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to be our next song is Living with the Virus.
It's no longer breakup songs, it's living with the virus.
I just want people to know, if you want to take a break from virus talks, we've turned Sunday into a beautiful, inspirational Children's Day, live music day.
I love that.
And in fact, Ankit and I are taking the news hour away. So, are we having problems with it?
Yeah, looks like I think.
Okay. So let's where is the noise coming from?
I'm not sure there is something.
Something interesting going on here. I can't hear you guys.
Dr. Rahul.
Exit out and come back in. Dr. Yu is on. Ask him to exit out and come back in. So Alexandra, you shared with us who's going to be your guest this week. You never cease to amaze me. You did all of these amazing rock.
Thank you.
It takes a lot of work. doing so little work.
That's an understatement. You know better than anyone. It's I've been working professionally since I was 12 years old, and my first paycheck when I was 12. So I mean, I'm 24 now, so it's been a few years. No, it is a lot of work, but it's so fun to wake up every day and to know that this is my job. I'm actually busy doing a project for my church, like our youth, our young adults, and I'm literally like getting stuff in, and we're doing like these songs. I'm getting the drummer to do this, and the violinist to do this, and the guitarist to do this. I'm just putting it all together. And then somebody sent me a voice note saying, "When is the deadline?" I'm like, "Saturday night, like tomorrow," because I just sit there, and this is what I do all day. So I forget that people have like other stuff, because it's just what I do. I sit and I'm working the whole time. I'm making music, so it's weird to like click out of the music space and go into normal space. It's not normal for me. Just I'm used to this.
You know what's interesting is we were talking about this today as far as pain management. It's good to keep your mind preoccupied, because if you're sick and feeling low, it actually gives you energy to get out there and do another purpose. Like you're doing things for church, you're doing another purpose. And sometimes it takes your mind off of you, your problems, and it's energizing. It really, really is. I mean,
that is so true.
I find myself, it's hard for me to say no, right? That's the other problem I have. If somebody says, "Hey, Kim, we do this, we do that," I just always find a way to do it, right?
Yeah.
And, so sometimes I forget to not get enough sleep, which is what we talked about today, is very, very important. So you're a lot like me when it comes to, you're going to, in there, you're going to help everybody you can, but remember to take a break for yourself.
And to know when to say no, because it's like a word that I like don't know, and it's such a dirty word as well. You know, like nobody like no, she said no. How dare you? But no, you're right. I've actually can tell you I've actually blocked off, and my entire life I've had all my muso friends say that Mondays are their Sundays. Like Monday is because they giggle weekend and Monday is their Sunday, and I've always thought, no, just keep going. Just keep going. I'm getting to the age where I need a day. So I literally do the show on the Sunday nights, and I go to bed at like 12, 1 o'clock in the morning, because I'm packing down and I'm unwinding, because I'm full of energy and everything. And then Monday morning, I have a live thing on my Instagram, which I do every Monday with a cup of coffee at 10 a.m. and I get back into it. And then the rest of the day is all me. That's it. I vegetate. That is what I do on a Monday. And it's so important, because I think especially at the beginning of this thing, everybody was saying, we've got X amount of weeks. What can we do at this time? Go, 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 go. And people that weren't doing anything were feeling like they were lazy and they weren't like contributing. But there has to be a balance. You can't just go, 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 go. You have to take time to say no. I need me time. Watch a Netflix series, have hot chocolate, eat cake, all the important things. Like, you need that time for yourself.
You need a balance. You can't, you probably said you learned it at a very young age. When I was running a phone company, I kid you not, this was back in the day before there were people using mobile phones at a great deal.
Right.
I owned a land company, local area exchange carrier, and I had literally 3 headphones on my head. I had 3 phones.
You have 2 ears though. What's going on with you?
I know. My doctor asked the same thing. When I went in to visit my mom, she had a heart attack, and I went to the hospital to see her. I was like, had a belt on and all these phones and headsets, and he asked me the same thing. You only have 2 ears, girl. You're driving yourself to a heart attack.
Yeah.
I thrived on that, right? I thrived on always go, go, go. If I didn't have it, I always felt like I wasn't doing enough. And so when I shut the company down and retired, I actually started having heart attacks or symptoms of heart attacks. And they were rushing me to the hospital. And the doctors were worried about me. They're going, "Are you under a lot of pressure? We know you closed the company down with the financial situations." And I go, "No, I think I'm under pressure. Like, I don't have enough pressure. I don't have the 3 headsets. I was missing it. Like, I was sick about that addiction of not having enough phone calls coming in all day. I felt like I wasn't working anymore. Um, but it was weird because I dealt with a lot of big issues, right?
Mm.
Federal regulations,
Wow, yeah.
fees, attorneys, other interconnections with AT&T. I dealt at very high level, and I never had a heart problem.
Wow, yeah. Yeah.
Get rid of it, and all of a sudden I'm in the hospital all the time, going, I can't breathe, I can't breathe, and and I realized I was under pressure, like not
Yeah.
enough. So I think you're right.
Right.
But I need to have my cake too, right? I need to rest. And,
It's so important, and I've spoken about it before, and I'm sorry for hugging this for hugging that, but I you know me, I love this sort of conversation because I believe in it 110%. I had a panic attack last year when I was in Nashville, and
I
I mean
know.
I go to Nashville regularly, and that particular mid last year I had my very first big panic attack, and I've been under pressure for a good 3 years before that, leading up to that point,
Mhm.
going to bed at 11, 12 o'clock at night, only waking up at 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, go, not eating properly. I mean, not eating. To not have your break. I had to set an alarm. Have your breakfast. Have your snack. Have your lunch. Have your snack. Have a good dinner and have some dessert. And I had this breakdown. And I came home and it's because of all this pressure that I just wasn't taking care of myself. And exactly what happens to you, you get to the point where your body just can't take anymore. And even though we're not doing anything now, it's still the same pressure
It is.
because it's everything else that's putting pressure on you. So yeah, I believe in that piece of cake. I believe in that Netflix series. I believe in that book. So
Exactly.
yes,
And that's something I really haven't done a lot of because the minute we locked down, I got busier than ever. And so I'm
right.
looking forward to some slowdown. Nick has been tag teaming with us so that we can get that time out as well. Because, Mondays were always my bookkeeping and accounting days. And I've literally not done 1 ounce of bookkeeping or accounting for 60 days.
Wow.
It's like, I know, right? Yeah, girl, because I lecture on this. I lecture on having that day, like you said, having that day to just shut down. But Mondays were always my bookkeeping, get everything organized in life, and I'm panicking now because I haven't done that. But now I don't want to. Once you get to that point, you don't want to. But I want to talk to because we've got Dr. Rowe and Dr. Yu on. But I want to ask this question about the breathing part. When we have panic attacks, it's like you can't breathe enough. What is going on
Mm.
with that? Why do you feel like your lungs are crushing?
Can I take that question, Ankit?
Yes, I
Yeah,
want.
yeah,
Okay.
please.
I want you to have that question.
See, this is the position of your vocal cords, the two fingers. When you breathe in, these go away. When you breathe out, they are away, right? During breathing exercises. When the panic attack comes, they come together and block your airway, so that you feel choked, and then you have to take a breath, like, voluntarily bring them apart, right?
Wow.
So that is the place which happens during the panic attack. You have stronger tightness in the midline, in the center here, and you feel like you're sweating. The vasovagal sympathetic stimulation comes up, right? And if the panic attack is too strong, then you need to sedate, paralyze the patient, and take him over on the ventilator. Mind you, there's an entity called as vocal cord dysfunction, which mimics asthma in symptoms, right? And panic attacks and these always happen when we do not deal with stress and we just tend to ignore it, right? And it gradually builds up to a point where the body says, hands up, no more. Now I'm going to give you something. You have better stop, right? So in our life, there's a lot of stress, but we have learned to take care of it. I have adopted a measure in an hour. I last 10 minutes of an hour while working, I'll stop my work and listen to music, worship music, gospel music. I will sing a song, right? I'll read the scripture from the Bible and then I will go on. Then
Hmm.
again, in the next 1 hour, for the last 10 minutes, I'll see to it that whatever work I'm doing, just put it at rest. Unless it's an urgent procedure or something, I'll go back to my closet to on the music, listen to music again. This technique I found out in my MBBS postgraduate exam time. I had only 20 days to give an exam, and I had to finish somewhere close to 10,000 pages. So that I wanted to involve a lot of studying. So I devised this thing, and this helped me, and it continues to keep helping me.
Okay. So I think Alexandra has to beam out. Can we play a typical girl real quick?
Yeah.
A typical
Do you?
girl.
Oh, do you have a
The
video?
whole
Oh, it's
time
still
we have the
sending.
video just to tell people when you're playing. Ankit, do you have it?
No, I don't
We'll
have
play
it.
it later. We'll play it for the day. There we go.
But this is the,
Here's our guest this week, and we look forward to seeing you.
Yay! I'll see you then.
See you Sunday for some
Bye.
inspirational music to build our spirits up. No stress.
Thank you. No stress. Hashtag. Bye, guys. Bye, everybody. Bye.
All right, Dr. Yu, how are you doing?
I'm so glad Rahul was talking about just taking little breaks throughout the day. And we're just so on the same page because he talked about the physiological aspect of stress and then the spiritual aspect. So, and they're all intertwined. The vagus nerve controls your dopamine production and your heart rate and your digestion. It's a really long nerve. Vegas means, Las Vegas means the wanderer. This nerve wanders. Cranial nerve 10, right? So when you're stressed, you get the sympathetic vagal response. Your heart rate goes up. Actually, probably less dopamine is being produced, so you can't relax your muscles, and your digestion stops, right? You get constipation. Your heart rate, breathing gets out of control. So you have to do, vagal calming exercise to get the parasympathetic working, diaphragmatic breathing, relax the lungs, the trachea where it splits, what he's talking about.
So, you missed part of the conversation. I was hoping that you were going to beam in. We were talking about using the lasers for the COVID. Dr. Rule has been working on a paper about this, and you're in the laser.
That's a third. I mean, he's a brother from another mother. I mean,
I tell
you can't believe this. So,
and
that being said,
his paper is in
no,
process.
I'll get into the UV light and methylene blue study they're using in Canada, reversing the COVID symptoms, very fast. But let me just say, we talked about exercise, right? So, I'm always experimenting with different gadgets, right? So this is a Japanese device. This is actually an air compressor, and what it does, you hook these tubes to your arms and legs, and there's air bladders. All right, I'll turn it on, and this is the Pro Cycle, and then I'm going to put it on low. There's different low, medium, high. This is a warm up. I don't know if you see the numbers going up and down.
Well, just barely, yes.
Yeah,
now we see them. Yes.
That's the air. How many psi? So it's constricting my blood flow in my muscle, and then to relax it. And through the tourniquet method, you're getting shots of blood going down to your extremities, legs and arms, and also your whole body. So it's almost like a second heart where it's tricking your body. You're doing more resistance exercise, but you don't have to lift weights. And it increases growth hormone and more blood flow. As we get older, our circulation decreases, takes pressure off the heart.
Yeah.
It shunts oxygen to your whole body. So especially for our senior patients who are disabled, stroke, or anything, people with numbness in the arms and hands, this is diabetes, they get the diabetic ulcer, amputation. It's all about blood flow. And if blood and oxygen are not going to your extremities, your heart, brain, that's what causes a lot of these degenerative diseases. So this really increases your blood flow. It's like I got 2 hearts on right now. And guess what? You don't need to lift weights because this is constricting your muscle. Look, and you're getting a pump. So you're making lactic acid, which increases growth hormone release, more circulation, more of your body's endogenous stem cells. to circulate around, more nitric oxide to dilate the blood vessels, to prevent atherosclerosis. So I'm going to implement this into our stem cell therapy program. Like during a stem cell injection, we're going to put the cuffs on, and as it's pulling blood and growth factors and oxygen to support the stem cells so they grow and repair faster, and stem cell rehabilitation after the injection to get more blood and growth factors and oxygen to keep the stem cells growing. This is the perfect device, especially for people who don't like running or extraneous weight training, but they want the growth hormone, the muscle building, the bone building, the increased circulation attributes of intense exercise. This is the perfect solution. So, yeah.
It's
Again,
you said nitric oxide. I was just ordering some. You can get that in Beats.
Well, yeah. Why pay for it? It's going to be expensive, $30-$60 a month, when your body can make its own.
Exactly.
Blood flow restriction and relaxation. Yeah, it's a perfect device.
I'm glad you did. That's why I'm saying I'm glad you just mentioned this, because I was looking at ordering some.
No, get this. Especially for you, the lung constrict. It'll relax you. You can do this several times a day. Take a break. This has 8 cycles it's going through, so it takes about 8 minutes, and then you're done. And you put the leg straps on.
That's my book. 8 minutes a day. So
there you go.
And let me ask.
It's like your Iron Man, right? Look, or Darth Vader. You put it right here. Yeah.
So I'll just put it. But let me ask you this: so many people with diabetes, especially, the blood circulation is low in the legs. Is that something we could do to the legs?
Absolutely. There's leg straps like this, and then you put these straps on your legs.
Okay, that makes sense.
Just like this.
Dr. you have so many technical gadgets. I just love your enthusiasm in researching all the different.
Well, if you look at the movie Avengers, Iron Man, Tony Stark never sleeps. He's always inventing things in his basement. This is my garage. I'm inventing things. So yeah, I would unplug this and hook it to here, and it would pump my leg and shoot blood and nitric oxide and growth hormone platelets down to my legs, especially for diabetes it's on the rise, and sugar is very inflammatory. And diabetics, the sugar, it oxidizes, it becomes like hard crystals, like a rusty nail. Mm-hmm. And those sugar crystals oxidize, settle in your hands and feet, so it causes inflammation, swelling, sharp pains, numbness, loss of balance, nerve damage. So this will offset the inflammation that the diabetes and sugar is causing by getting more blood, more circulation, venous return, the lymphatics. The calves are your second heart and third. But if you're not walking because you have diabetes and your toes are cut off because you had an ulcer, you could just sit here and let this do the walking for you, the pumping for you. So that's why we got to take 10,000 steps a day, get the calves pumping the blood and the lymphatics out of your lower extremities. Like so many seniors have the swollen calves and feet, and there's risk of infection and all the peripheral neuropathy, nerve damage. So this is the perfect advice. I mean, yeah.
Well, and I think it's interesting that some of the things that you brought up, especially with the diabetes. Dr. Rahul has to depart. He's got patients, and I appreciate you coming on.
Rahul, let's get this for your patients.
There you go. And I want to talk more on the UV lights and your research, because I have dabbled in that for cleaning water. I've used germicide UV lights, and Dr. Yu